Hi, in this video I'm showing you how I took a theory of leader development and applied it to training higher education executives on how to coach high potential employees. Take a look.
This is a model that was published by Day, Harrison, and Halpin, and I think that it is a very effective model to think of as in the process of coaching and helping an individual develop their identity as a leader. Picture this model as a spiral. It can either be an upward spiral where the leader's identity is enhanced, or a downward spiral where the leader's identity is diminished. It starts with willpower or self-regulatory strength. Individuals who have control over their thoughts and their emotions and their actions tend to look at situations as learning experiences. They have a learning goal orientation, and they approach experiences as an opportunity to learn. In turn, they reflect on their experiences to develop their self-awareness. As they develop their self-awareness, they understand how they fit into different situations, and they develop specific intentions about how they're going to act in different situations. As they have this framework for their intentions and their actions, they're more self-confident. They have a higher degree of self-efficacy. And when they have this self-confidence and self-efficacy, they see themselves as being effective in situations and have the identity of a leader. And this process continues. We can also consider the downward spiral and how this might look. Individuals who don't have a lot of self-regulatory strength, they don't have willpower, they tend to approach situations not as opportunities to learn, but as a test that speaks to their value as a human being. And in turn, these individuals don't tend to reflect on their experiences and develop their self-awareness. And if they don't have this level of self-awareness, they don't tend to think about specific situations and form their intentions in that context of a specific situation. And when they don't have that framework of situational knowledge and intentions, they tend to not be very confident and have a low degree of self-efficacy, and in turn their identity as a leader is diminished. So let's consider each one of these elements of the model a little bit further and how you as a coach can help enhance each step in this model. First, let's think about the role of leader identity. Why is it even important? Why do we need people to identify themselves as a leader? Well, we need leaders. Leaders exert influence to help groups achieve their goals. They take the initiative to solve organizational problems. They promote innovation. They exhibit moral courage and do the right thing even when it's difficult. They take responsibility for the well-being of their colleagues and the organization. And so we need people to say, I am a leader. This is my role. People who have that identity of a leader tend to act like leaders. They develop this identity largely through their experiences. If their experiences are shaped by reflection and self-regulation, they're more likely to build this strong identity as a leader. Again, it starts with willpower or self-regulatory strength, the ability to manage your emotions, your thoughts, your behaviors. This willpower is like a muscle. It is developed through exercise. And when people have this ability to self-regulate, they're more likely to maintain their focus. They're going to persist through trying times. And they're going to be more influential to others because they have focus and poise that people need to see from a leader. So, how can you as a coach help to develop this kind of self regulatory strength? Well, one thing you can do is to help your coachee develop SMART goals. What I'm referring to are goals that are specific, measurable, actionable, relatively challenging, and time based. When coachees have these kinds of goals, they have a perspective on what they're trying to achieve, and they have the tools they need to control their emotions and their thoughts and their behaviors. You can also have a dialogue with your coachee and help them to discover problem solving strategies that will help them to manage their actions and thoughts and emotions. So don't be afraid to reflect on your own experiences and the strategies that have helped you in situations like the ones that they are facing. The next element of this process is having a learning goal orientation. We want our coachees to approach their experiences as opportunities to learn. If they do this, they're going to be focused on developing their competence. They're going to seek out new challenges, and they're going to view these opportunities as a time when they can make errors. They're going to see that errors are not the end of the world, but actually a chance for them to learn. When people take on this learning goal orientation, they see experiences as an opportunity to learn, they're more likely to monitor their progress towards the goals that they have, and they're more likely to seek feedback. A lot of people don't take on a learning goal orientation. Instead, they take on a performance goal orientation. These people see experiences as a test or a trial where they have to prove themselves, and where they see if they don't succeed, it speaks poorly to them as a person, and that people will judge them poorly. So as a coach, you really need to promote this learning goal orientation. And you can do this by providing good feedback, feedback that is non-judgmental. Remember that you are your coachee's advocate. You should give feedback that is very specific and timely. They should have that experience in their mind, and you should speak directly to it. You should also use very credible and authentic means to give feedback. So again, if you can use your experiences and reflect on those with your coachee, they're going to see your feedback as more authentic and credible. Experiences are a linchpin to developing a leader's identity. And there's three components of well-designed developmental experiences. And the first is assessment. We need to provide developing leaders with information about their current strengths and weaknesses through 360s, through the Strength Finder, but also, and probably most importantly, through the interaction with their coach. Well-designed developmental experiences also present a appropriate level of challenge. Individuals need to be stretched beyond their comfort level. A stretch assignment that's focused on a strategically relevant project. And so you need to help them to choose a role inside their stretch assignment that is appropriately challenging. Finally, well-designed developmental experiences provide support. Again, as a coach, this is your important role here. People need to perceive that their efforts in development are valued. And so you need to reinforce this fact. Again, you are their advocate. And so act as their advocate. Self-awareness is another part of this process in developing a leader's identity. And when I talk about self-awareness, I'm talking about the quality and accuracy about our self-beliefs. individuals who have a high degree of self-awareness tend to act in ways that are consistent with their values. And we want that. We want people to be consistent with their values. Sometimes you may want to give them an assignment and ask them to, as they engage in that assignment, reflect in their leadership journal. And so make sure that you're reinforcing this use of the journal to promote self-awareness both in yourself and in the person that you're coaching. If you do this, you're more likely to develop implementation intentions. These are very specific intentions that tell us when, where, and how we're going to behave in some way to reach the goals that we have. And if we have very specific implementation intentions like this, we're more likely to engage in goal-directed actions. So we all have goals, and oftentimes they start out as very vague goals. So I have a goal, I want to lose weight. And I think to myself, well, I really ought to exercise. Does that mean tomorrow morning I'm going to get up and exercise? Probably not, because I don't have that specific implementation intention that says when, where, and how am I going to exercise. So I need to form a specific, immediate goal that is triggered by my context, so when I'm in that situation, I know that it's time to act, try and achieve this goal. So a much better goal or implementation intention is to say to myself, every day when I get up from bed, I will get up, I will slowly stretch for 10 minutes, and then I will get on the treadmill for another 30 minutes. See, this goal tells me when, where, and how I am going to exercise. And it's much more likely as when I wake up in the morning and think to myself, wait, I have a specific goal that when I get up in the morning and get up from bed, I will stretch for 10 minutes, then get on the treadmill for another 30 minutes. So as a coach, you need to help your coachee form these implementation intentions. It goes back to the SMART goals, but it goes beyond that. You need to talk about the context of their goals. What situations are they facing? And what specific behaviors should they be engaging in when they encounter specific cues, specific events in the situations that they want to lead? As you form these implementation intentions, you're going to make these individuals more confident. You're going to build their self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is a belief that we can perform a task well and be successful. And this is what we're trying to do with leaders who are developing, these emerging leaders. If they have a high degree of self-efficacy, they know how they're going to behave in situations. They know they have the tools to be successful. They're more likely, again, to act in ways that are consistent with their values and their interests, and as a result, more likely to achieve their goals. So how can you as a coach promote self-efficacy? One way is that you can provide positive reinforcement. You should, as an advocate for your coachee, you should have unconditional positive regard for this individual. Another way that you can promote self-efficacy is focus on that individual's strengths. Make sure you know the strengths of your coachee and return to those, focus on those, and there's many different ways that they can accomplish their goals. Work through their strengths so that they can achieve those goals through things that they already do well. And if you do that, they're going to be more confident and they're going to see themselves as leaders.
Here's a reference for the theory that was discussed in this video.